Hi, I'm Mike with Mike'sTravelGuide.com, and welcome to our weekly Q&A travel show, the show that helps you plan your trip to Europe. And as always, we'll start off with our questions. One of the things we get a lot of questions on is getting from Florence to San Gimignano. And if you haven't visited our webpage that gives step-by-step directions, you can visit that here. So Claire asked, my husband and I will be based in Florence and want to visit Siena and San Gimignano in one day on our own. Which is more practical, taking the bus/train to Siena first, then a bus to San Gimignano, and then San Gimignano to Florence, or Florence to San Gimignano first, then bus to Siena, and then back to Florence by train? Any suggestions is greatly appreciated. Claire. Well, Claire, that's going to be really tough to do. I think it's possible, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would actually do one day in San Gimignano, spend the night there, catch the bus real early in the morning the next day, and then spend the day in Siena and then get back to Florence. But if you had to do it, I would start out by taking the bus from Florence to San Gimignano, and of course that's two buses, not one. And then from San Gimignano, I'd take the bus to Siena, and then when you're finished with Siena, I'd take the train back to Florence. And our next question is from Sharon. Hi Mike, can you please help us with our transfer? We are staying in Florence and heading to San Gimignano for the night, then on to Rome. Can you tell us the best way to travel there? Is it best to book our travel before we go, or could you book when we get there? Kind regards, Sharon. Hi Sharon. As previously mentioned, I take the bus from Florence to San Gimignano. And then once in San Gimignano, I would take a bus to Siena and then a train to Rome. I think this would be your best bet. Just as a warning though, when taking the bus from San Gimignano to Siena, it's going to drop you off at the bus terminal in the middle of Siena, which is not located near the train station. The train station is about a 20-minute walk. So you'd have to take a bus or a taxi from the bus terminal to the Siena train station. But it's not that big of a deal either way, and it's not that expensive. But I think that would be your best bet from getting from San Gimignano to Rome. And as far as purchasing tickets, I would just purchase all the tickets locally. You shouldn't have any issues. I would just recommend that you purchase the tickets maybe the day before, when possible, especially in San Gimignano, because the places that sell the tickets may not be open. You can find more information at our website here at getting from Florence to San Gimignano and San Gimignano to Siena. This week's travel tips. The first travel tip is when traveling through Italy, it can be a little bit more frustrating than traveling through the rest of Western Europe. Things don't always work right, and you should keep that in mind when planning your trip. So in other words, trains don't work normally like other trains do in the rest of Western Europe. Things are a little bit more complicated. Things take longer times, and schedules aren't normally as they would be in other places throughout Europe. So just keep that in mind when planning a trip to Italy. Certainly, I love going to Italy. Italy is a great place. It's a beautiful country. There's lots of things to see and do. But things don't normally work there as they would in the rest of Western Europe. And our next travel tip will save you a big headache. What most people do is once arriving at a train station is they would normally collect their luggage and then go straight to their hotel. What I recommend doing is taking about an extra 10 or 15 minutes and staying at the train station and checking the schedule for your next day train service, and also purchasing your ticket for the next day train service. And the reason why I do this is that you never know what could happen. There could, for example, be a strike the next day, or there could be works on the rail the next day. And you know, if you got to the train station in the morning and you expect to catch a train, but there's no train to catch, or if it's running under a different schedule, you might be really screwed. If you know the day in advance, you can make plans for that and get around that. So for example, if there's no train service the next day, you could make plans with your hotel to stay another night and not have to bring your luggage from your hotel to the train station and have to bring it back. So it's a very easy thing to do. Most people don't do it, but doing it can save you a big headache, and it's good advice. And now, this week's recommendations. One of the things we highly recommend is visiting the small Tuscan town of San Gimignano. San Gimignano is known for its old medieval towers. It's a great place to visit. There's lots of things to see and do, and I'd highly recommend spending the evening there. If you want more information about San Gimignano, you can click this link. And our last recommendation is a place to have a great cheap lunch in Florence. This place is located right inside the Central Market. They sell a variety of things, but the things we highly recommend are their sandwiches. They have a sliced pork roast sandwich or a sliced roast beef sandwich. And it's fantastic, it's cheap. The only one thing is you may have to wait in line for about 15 minutes to get it. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. If you have a question, you can email me here. And please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.